right, it's the end of the indoor flying season and the beginning of outdoor flying season. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we're finally there. Wintertime is over. I no longer have to fly indoors in the terrible, what shall we call that? The aluminum maiden, because it's really good at destroying airplanes. Indoors can be really rough. The floor is hard, the walls are hard, the ceiling's hard, and it just breaks everything. So tonight we had our final session flying indoors, and of course we broke everything. And but that's okay, because we got in a lot of flying. We learned a lot about each airplane. We had a really successful night despite all the breakage. Despite all the breakage. Beanbox. This is a Bostonian model. I've been messing with this plane for about 2 years now, and tonight it had a successful flight straight into the wall and smashed the front end nicely. You can see the front end is, the cockpit is like really, yeah. The pilot has a severe headache, but I think we can fix it. And she'll be back in the air shortly, and I think we finally got this one figured out. That we figured this one out. We made those adjustments that finally all those test flights of me tossing it into ground are gonna pay off, and we're gonna get a good flight out of it. Let's see, the Tiger. This plane has been a real mixed bag of surprises. Tonight it flew into a basketball hoop and ripped off the landing gear, right out of the airplane. It was probably damaged from all the other times it hit the wall this year, and that was just the final straw. But as you can see, there's a little bit something wrong there, something not quite right. So let's see, the Finch 2 did pretty good, did really good. Actually, the Finch 2 had a really good year. Very little breakage on the airplane. We had a rubber band explode tonight inside the fuselage, took out some paper on the side, but very minor damage. That can all be repaired in 10 minutes. The Astro Finch. Everybody loves the Astro Finch. Oh my God, the Astro Finch is very popular at the Dome, and we had a few good flights tonight with the Astro Finch, but it hit the ceiling and was damaged. So that's going to need some repairs too. And the bad thing about repairs is every time you have to make a repair on it, it changes the way it flies. So you have to start all over again and readjust everything, and then hope you don't have an accident in between that time and the next time you compete or whatever. But I guess that's what makes it interesting. But anyway, that one got a nice crack in it. All right, I've been talking to myself for about 5 minutes now, and the camera was off. I guess I tripped it off when I touched the camera with the airplane wing. But as you can see, the Finch is cracked right here. She's got a nice crack, and there's another crack right here where she hit the ceiling, and so she's slightly damaged. But everybody loves the Finch. Oh my gosh, people love the Finch. So the big surprise of the night was the Newport 11. The Newport 11, if you guys remember from last week, the Newport 11 was completely destroyed. We got it all back together, and we had our first successful flight tonight. Maybe about 15 seconds. It wasn't particularly long, but it flew nice and stable, and I'm so happy. But we did have another rubber band explosion. It took out the paper in the rear of the airplane. I'm just glad it didn't take out the Indian emblem on the side, because that might be kind of hard for me to replace. But she survived with no structural damage. No structural damage there. So really good, successful night with that. You know, after a whole season, we finally got one successful flight. It was pretty smooth, a little bit porpoisey, a little bit, but not too bad. I was really happy. And the big surprise, big surprise is the what is this? Focke-Wulf 190. The Focke-Wulf 190 also had its first successful flight this week outdoors. It was an outdoor flight. This airplane will never fly indoors. It's too fast. It's too heavy. And this thing is a real rocket, it turns out. And it doesn't really seem to care that it weighs 45 grams, 55 grams with the rubber band inside it, which is almost 2 ounces, which is an incredible amount of weight for this size airplane. But it really doesn't seem to care. It flew really nice. I'm not going to say it flew real high, but it flew pretty stable. It did a nice circle. It looked really good. And if I can get 30 seconds out of it, it's not too bad. So I'm real happy with that. And that's the one airplane that's undamaged here tonight. Everybody else came home with war wounds. And so that was it for the indoor flying season this year. I got in a lot of good flights tonight, got a lot of good trimming done, learned a lot. I learned a lot about each aircraft, and I'm grateful for that opportunity. And it's going to help me out tremendously this summer when we go outside to fly. And so I'm really happy about that. And I'm going to call it a success. It's just we had a successful year, and we're going to have an even more successful year as we move into summertime and get out there and fly underneath the big, great blue dome. And no ceilings, no walls, just trees and mosquitoes and stuff. And I hope to see you guys out. Oh, we got 2 flights from the Astro Finch coming up that we did manage to film tonight, even though we were in such a rush we didn't bother to film anything. But I did get 2 flights from the Finch if you want to stick around and see those. Thanks a lot, guys. Oh my goodness. Oh!